a favourite of mine. The Man Who Owned the Earth. A poor man once went to a wizard and said, "Make me the richest man in the world." So the wizard gave him a ball of clay and 3 potions. You must use these carefully, for they are powerful magic. If you were to pour all of the first one into the ball of clay, all of the gold in the world would be yours. The second is more powerful. If you were to pour it onto the ball of clay, all of the silver in the world would be yours. And the last is the most powerful. If you pour it all onto the ball of clay, wood in the world. The man was very pleased and said, "If I had all the gold there is, I wouldn't need silver or wood. I would own the world." "Indeed you would," replied the wizard. "But you never must be. 1 drop of each potion can make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. The rest you must bring back to me for me to use again. Or else you will be as poor as when you started." The man went home and immediately he opened the first potion and let a drop fall. The soldier looked in at the window and then emptied a huge sackful of gold onto the table. It was more wealth than the poor man had ever seen in his lifetime. But even so, before he hit the stopper on the potion, he couldn't resist just letting 1 more drop fall into the magic clay. The clay quivered in his hand, and then suddenly everything in the house turned to gold. The tables, the chairs, the bed, the cups, plates, knives, forks, bucket by the door, the old iron grate, even the door itself, all gold. Then the man was overcome with greed. "All the gold in the world can be mine!" he cried, and poured all the remaining potion onto the ball of magic clay. Immediately the air was filled with the whirring of thousands of birds of every shape, of every kind. The sky blackened as they all flew towards his house. Each carried a small bag of gold in its beak and deposited it outside. The man looked out of the window at the golden mountain and could hardly believe his eyes. "Now I am without a doubt the richest man in the world," he said. Then he built himself a palace and lived as a prince. It was not long, however, before some knocking came to the door. He found 100 ragged men. "Who are you?" he cried. They replied, "I am sorry to hear that," said the man, and he gave each of them 1 gold piece. Then the man thought to himself, "What if all those kings should try to steal my gold? I had better get some silver, for then I could pay 100 soldiers to guard my gold." So he took the second potion the wizard had given him, and let a drop fall to the magic clay. And sure enough, the floors of the palace turned to silver. He let another drop fall onto the magic clay, and a silver ball the size of 6 houses came rolling down the road and rested near the palace. Then he was overcome with greed again, for he wanted to see what all the silver in the world would look like. So he took the potion and poured it all on the ball of clay. He took some of the silver and hired 100 guards. But before long he heard a banging on his doors, and he went and found 1,000 ragged men there. "Who are you?" he cried. Said the men, "I'm sorry, but I can't help so many of you," said the man, and he turned them out of the palace to beg their own way through the world. And then the man said to himself, "I need to build a chest to hold all of my silver and gold. It will be so large that I shall need a lot of wood. I shall need that 3rd potion after all." So he took the 3rd potion and poured it all onto the ball of magic clay. And and suddenly there was the rushing sound of 1,000,000 leaves rustling in the wind, and he looked up, and there was a forest in the sky coming up from the west, and from the south came another, and from the north and the east as well. They blotted out the whole sky, and their roots hung down into the earth. At this, all the people looked up and cried, "What has happened to the day?" And when they found that they had no wood to burn on their fires, no wood for chairs or tables, they all rose up, and together they beat down the doors of the palace and took back what had once belonged to them. The richest man became the poorest man once more, and as for the wizard,